Hello everyone, I'm Sophie and I'm currently at Kechara Forest Retreat, Bentong, Malaysia. This is the book I'm sharing from, Why I Make Myself Unhappy, Sam Tuku Rinpoche. This is by my guru, His Eminence the 25th Sam Tuku Rinpoche. And I'll be reading from chapter 2, page 13. And as usual, I'll go to a picture to share with you. And this is taken in Kechara Forest Retreat. It's like taken at night. It's very nice and peaceful. Okay, chapter 2, page 13. We cannot get happiness from the outside. We focus on relationships, people, money, friends, and reputation as the outlet for happiness. But eventually, we will have to face ourselves. That is the quote. We cannot get happiness from a relationship. We cannot get happiness from money. We cannot get it from people, from outside things. Why? I will tell you why. Because they don't last. Number one. Number two, these outside things are not permanent. Number three, the foundation that these outer things, such as money, reputation, family, friends, sit on, is very fragile. Like when the tsunami hit, over 200,000 people died just in 1 or 2 hours. It's very fragile. It goes away. Although this building is very solid, it will go away. Although we think our bodies are very solid, it will all go away. It will disintegrate. So when we focus on relationships and money and people and friends and reputation, cars and entertainment as the outlet for happiness, or hide behind something because we are not happy, eventually we will have to face ourselves. And when we face ourselves, you know what's the horrible part? That when the merit and the karma for those things run out, perhaps we cannot overcome it. And that's why people do extreme things. When the experience is over, what we have done creates a reputation for us that even before the actual results come, people form preconceived ideas of who we are, what we are, and how they think we are. True or not doesn't matter. People experience us as we experience them. I wrote this down this morning, and what does it mean? If you don't believe in karma, because I always teach on 2 levels, I share on 2 levels, and if you don't believe in karma, it's okay also, because Buddha can be used as a psychological that helps. As psychology that helps. He's the greatest psychologist. He is a Buddha, definitely, but he can be used on different levels in a positive way. That's what he wants. Whatever experience we have, whether it's positive or negative, how we act during that experience, and how we act immediately after that experience, and how we act in relation to what happened creates even more karma. But on a normal, worldly, psychological level, whatever experience we have and the way we act and talk and show our face and show our body language at that time, during that experience, people will hear, people will see, and that will formulate their preconceived notions about us. So, if normally you are sloppy, you are unaware, you forget things, but if normally you don't pay attention, you're not alert. If normally you're angersome, you react back negatively. If normally you're irresponsible, if normally you're very responsible, if normally you're very kind, you're very gentle, if normally you're very skillful, if normally you're very enthusiastic to help, if normally you're very lazy and you hide and you say things and you don't fulfill your commitments, or you push or you hide behind your tears, if normally you are like that and you do these things for a long time, that formulates the conceived idea about you and others, and that conception of you creates your reputation. And that reputation of you, true or false, creates more conception about you from others. And that conception of others to us is what hurts us, because we always complain, I'm misunderstood. People don't understand me. And we spend a lot of time in our speech explaining ourselves to others, talking about ourselves to others, justifying ourselves to others, and explaining and talking. But when we look at ourselves deeply, we have no results. We have no results, but we are very eloquent in explaining why. And we spend our time on why we didn't get it. And we spend our time on explaining and telling. You know, most of us, those people who explain, usually have not accomplished anything in their lives, but they can explain why. So, my question is, if you can explain why don't you have an answer to do something to change it? Since you know why, you must also know an antidote. So, if you don't know an antidote, two ways: find one in the Buddha or in a friend that has wisdom. But don't stick in your narrow way of thinking and view and action, because it gets you nowhere, nowhere, no success. If we have a bad relationship with our father and our mother, if we have a bad relationship with our wife and our husband, if we have bad relationships with our friends or with people we meet and we are misunderstood, instead of always explaining, we need to understand that we created that reputation about us directly or indirectly. Even in this life, if you think yourself very good and you didn't do much, in your ignorance, in your darkness, you think you didn't do much, and that people just think like that and they accuse you, that also comes from a cause. Because however you are, maybe you're not consciously doing it, but you're subconsciously doing it on a conscious level without knowing it. People can misunderstand you by the way you do things, but should we spend the rest of our lives explaining how good we are? Or do we live in a world with a lot of sentient beings and we need to accommodate because we are social beings? Even in this life, if you didn't do much, perhaps the habituation came from a previous life. And with that, I end chapter 2. It explains how basically our reputation was formed by our actions that we do, and subconsciously or consciously, and those actions, and from those actions people form a perception about us. So from that, we create our reputation. And if we want good reputation, then we need to examine ourselves and our actions, and be consistent in doing good. Be kind, always be helpful, and do not shirk any hard work. Always, you know, be helpful to others, be considerate. So then we will form good reputation, and then we don't have to explain so much, you know, about our actions to others. So thank you for sharing your time with me, and I will end this with a completion dedication, and this time in Tibetan. Jangjop Sencho Rinpoche, Maki Panam Geishi, Ke Panam Pame Payang, Gone Gondu Pewashu, Tony Towan Rinpoche, Maki Panam Geishi, Ke Panam Pame Payang, Gone Gondu Pewashu, Daso Jini Sapagi Wadi, Dadandro Waguna Kapadang, Jepa Jesu no Santrapai, Tamping Imporin to Sa Se Sho. Kewa kuntu yanda lamadan rami choki pala no choching sadam langi ya terazone doji shangi ngopa ngatuso Kewa di yududa lama sang yodroyone drowa chikia malupa de isala gopasho choki kau posungkapa chosun nampa pewala geki sama siwada dungi malu sangwasho dadam sangi dosunda drowa songi latene kewa losan trapai tampayo riva gyushi ni modele sendele ni mengunyan dele shi ni sentato dele pel concho songi jingilo concho songi ngotroso concho songi trasi sho Jesu lama kuse rap ting ching nam katrini cho cho ke padang lo sam tempe dro mi sap songi dro e mun sa tato ni gyu shi gang re rawe ko we shingam dem pendan dewa malu gyo ne charan se wan ten sing get so yi shape shi de badu den gyu shi home tumping otro malupa den de dala sel du so kodan den pa long shot no ke pa su shik shuk ten sel. Thank you again for sharing your time with me, and I do hope that you'll return to share in my next session.